Hello and welcome to the Audi R8 LMS Cup. We are here at the Shanghai International Circuit. And Sean, the Cup, of course, goes all over Asia, but this is the home of the championship.
18 prior races in 6 seasons. It is the emotional home of the Audi R8 LMS Cup. And, of course, it all started here in 2012. Very demanding circuit and one that the teams really look forward to coming to every year.
Well, we've got the highlights of both the races this weekend coming up for you in the show. Just a quick look at the championship this year, and Alessio Picariello continues to dominate.
Well, he really has, but this weekend we know that his rival through his formative years, Martin Rump, has been the real star at Shanghai International Circuit, and he really could set his championship in motion at this race.
Well, it's a big weekend here for Audi. A lot of fans expected to attend. Let's take a look at some of the build-up that's been going on around the track. Well, we're very happy to have Martin Rump join us here at the panel. Martin, historically you do very well in Shanghai. What is it about this circuit that you particularly enjoy?
I guess it's the fact that it's kind of my home circuit, because my sponsors are based here, and I really enjoy coming here to Shanghai every time.
It's been one of those circuits where you've been a 3-time winner in 4 races. Do you start as the favourite this weekend? Does that put more pressure on you?
That's what racing drivers are built for, to perform under pressure, and I'm pushing as hard as I can.
Well, let's take a look at how you did last time out in Korea. We can look through some of those highlights here, Martin.
You started from pole position and got down to turn 1 pretty quickly. A little bit of light rain, that made things very, very interesting, and you're under attack fairly quickly from Alex Jung.
I think it was a little bit damp straight away in the start, and it was difficult to get heat into the tyres, and as soon as I approached the first corner I felt the slippery nature of the circuit, and yeah, I just tried to do my best to build the tyres into optimal temperature, but didn't see the grip there, and then I started to struggle, as you can see here.
Talking grip, there was a fair lack of grip. What was it like behind the wheel? It looks pretty busy.
Have you seen Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift? So I think it's a little bit like this.
Well, certainly you managed to keep the car straight in the end. Nobody could do much about Alex Jung, and he really did do a very, very good job and put things back on. There he is, back on top of the car. Another victory for the 3-time champion. Very happy. And then we get a chance to do it all over again in race 2. And what was that like for you? A little bit better?
Yeah, it wasn't damp anymore, but I mean the fact that we missed so much practice time, and we couldn't set the car up properly, we were lacking some pace, and we were pretty much trying to play catch up there. Did as much as I could, and just came home with some points.
Well, Martin, just a quick summary of your season as a whole. How do you think things have been going for you this year?
It's been definitely difficult. Tough season. I guess it's built my character a lot, but for sure I'd like to turn things around and get some good result here from Shanghai.
Well, thanks for talking with us, and best of luck for this weekend.
Thanks so much.
We're on the grid and getting ready for round 7 of the Audi R8 LMS Cup. That's what we're here for. There is the man they're all chasing in the championship, Alessio Picariello. Dries van Thor, he was the man who took pole position, the young Belgian on debut. Martin Rump was alongside start from position 2. Ahead of Alex Jung, Frankie Cheng, Sean Thong, championship points leader Alessio Picariello, Mitch Gilbert, AM Plus championship points leader David Chen. KOU leads row 5 ahead of Lim Kyong Wee, Jeffrey Lee, Sun Jingzhu, and the man who in all likelihood will take out the 2017 AM title, Burit Birambakti. A rolling start for round 7 of the 2017 Audi R8 LMS Cup. Dries van Thor left of screen, the green Castrol car. Right of screen, Martin Rump for the champion racing team. And it's Van Thor who gets away very, very nicely. Windscreen wipers on, light drizzle falling. into position 2. Up the inside of Martin Rump comes the reigning champion Alex Young. Behind him, Frankie Chung, the local driver. Then Sean Thong under fire from Alessio Piccirillo, who's trying to make up as many positions as possible. But here we go, it's Martin Rump up the inside of Alex Young. He goes down the grass, forces the reigning champion wide. That might allow Frankie Cheng in. No, he's closed the door back up again, and they carry on down to turn 6. On board with Alex Young. Oh, you can see the knock in the door. It looked a little bit less dramatic than that from outside, but certainly Martin Rump's keen to get his way further forward in this field and try and take the fight up to Dries Van Thor. Now it's Alex Young going around the outside. You're not going to do that there at turn 6, of course, the scene of where it all ended for him in season 2016 after that contact with Piccirillo, who's moving very hard across the back of Frankie Cheng, looking for a way past as they go down to turn 11. Very, very slippery conditions. Light rain started to fall just before the start of the race. Sean Thong too having a look to try and go around the outside there into the parabolica on Alessio. As now there's a protective move from Martin Rump with Frankie Cheng all over the back, a little bit of sideways contact as they come along into the braking point. Now he's been balked by Alex Young. That's allowed Frankie up the inside, forces him onto the grass and into a spin. That's not what he wanted. 3-time winner here. He was looking to get his championship back on track, and that's frustration for Martin Rump. Look at this onboard from Alessio. It's happening immediately in front of the championship points leader, and you can see Martin Rump going down the grass. No grip as Sean Thong takes advantage of that and slips around the outside of Alessio and into 4th position. The battle goes on though. Alessio's not done. He wants to fight for this championship. He could take it away this weekend, and he knows that every move forward in this field is going to add to that championship points tally and put the series out of question for this season as it's banking up behind him. It is still slippery under brakes. 3 wide through turn 14 isn't going to work. That's opened the door for David Chen to come into the equation in the TSRT car. He's looking to see what he can achieve as Alessio now takes that position back from Sean Thong and sets off in pursuit of his teammate Frankie Cheng from the Absolute Racing operation. Oh, you can see how slippery it is. That is the reigning champion, Alex Young, taking a very wide line, looking for extra grip. Sean Thong even wider. He's gone down the AstroTurf on the outside. Look at how hard Alessio Piccirillo is having to work behind the wheel as he turns into turn 1 and follows onto the tail of Frankie Cheng. Now here's a great battle. That's the outgoing AM Cup champion in front, Jeffrey Lee in the J-Fly car, immediately ahead of Birat Birenbakhti, who in all likelihood, heading into the final round in Zhejiang, will become the 2017 AM Cup champion. And what can you say about Dries Van Thor? Just recently in Europe, he dominated everything. He arrived here on Friday, did the first practice session, just missed the top spot in his very first laps. Second time round, he missed the session completely as now this is Alessio looking to get around Frankie Chung into turn 14, up the inside. It's a pretty fair bet the man he shares an Absolute Racing Team garage with isn't going to close the door, and Frankie was typically very gentlemanly and let the championship points leader through. Under brakes there was no drama. Alessio had it pretty well covered and he was pretty confident he wasn't going to have any drama. Further back, it's David Chen really under fire from KOU. The Koreans putting the Chinese driver under pressure in that TSRT entry. No such pressure at the front of the field. Alex Young started to close in, but Dries Van Thor had him covered. You could see the 3 on the side of the car. That's how many push to pass he's got left. I'll guarantee you there are not too many other drivers with that number left. He's not been pushed really at all once the track started to dry again, and what an amazing debut for the Castrol Racing Team Super Sub Van Thor. Second across the line, a great result for Alex Young, a 5-time winner here in the Cup. And of course, a brilliant drive for Alessio Piccirillo to pick up position number 3. Good fight to close out this race too. Sun Jing Zhu is going to take that position in front of Birat Birenbakhti as they cross the line for more valuable championship points.
It was a difficult race. It was starting to rain in the start, so it was really tricky in the beginning. We had to do a lot of playing with the ABS and traction control. First time on Shanghai, first time in the rain on slicks, so it was a bit tricky, but as soon as it dried up, I just could go back to my normal rhythm and get a gap and just control the gap, and yeah, really happy.
It was a lot of fun, you know, because the conditions kept changing. One lap, first going to be wet, next one to be dry, and you're like, should have carried more speed. Then the next lap you carry more speed and suddenly it's wet, so it was very tricky.
So victory to Castrol Racing Team rookie Dries van Thor on debut. Alex Jung second across the line. Alessio Picariello, valuable championship points, places third. Frankie Chung finishes ahead of Sean Thong and Mitch Gilbert. David Chen, the leading AM Plus driver, ahead of KOU. Sun Jing Zhu takes the top points in the AM classification ahead of Burit Birenbakti. Then Jeffrey Lee rounds out the field. Martin Rump and Lim Keong Wee, sadly, non-finishers.
Well, Sean, really, it was a tale of two Belgians. That dominant performance in round 7 from young Dries van Thor. But more importantly, for the championship title race, Alessio Picariello.
Well, that late move into position number 3 has given him a 51-point advantage going into round 8 of the championship. Now, if he finishes that round 52 or more points clear, he will be the 2017 champion.
Before we get into round 8, let's take a look at some of the Cup's history in Shanghai.
The Cup and the circuit, they have a long history together. In 2012, when we started our Asian motorsport program, actually the first time a GT3 Brand Cup in the world, we had our first race here at Shanghai.
First race we ever did here. Managed to sneak pole position and the win. That was pretty special. I would have thought all the way back then that the Cup would have gone for so long and been so successful. Obviously we've had some tight ones, once with Frankie here and of course then with Alessio last year.
Is he going to take a move at turn 6? Yes, up the inside. The veteran moves across. Contact. It's broken the steering.
We had important moments like Rahel Frey won here her first race, which also meant the first female race winner in the Cup history. Very big moment for all of us. Last year it was Martin Rump, who was the first driver who achieved back-to-back wins with the success ballast, and that happened also here in Shanghai.
I couldn't have asked for a better car. Even with this 50 kilo, it was pretty fast, and we made it. Team champion is watching me here, and
I just enjoy the track so much. The surface of the track is maybe a little bit low grip. Coming from Northeast Europe, I think that's what suits my driving style.
It's kind of our home ground. We come here every year, but the drivers like it because it's not just a beautiful facility, it's also a very demanding track. Also for the motorsport side, for the racing, it's very nice.
Gurney flap is the...
Don't know. I know what they are on the car. There are things on the side that kind of come up like that, but I don't know any more than that.
So this is the gurney flap, mounted on the trailing edge of the wing in an angle of 90 degrees. This gurney flap creates more pressure on the top of the wing, creating more downforce for the car, while at the same time it's only minimal increasing the drag.
Anti-lock braking system.
It's avoiding the locking the brake.
Anti-locking brake system.
Here we have the ABS system, which is the anti-blockade system. Very similar like on the road car, but in this car it's a special designed system for racing.
A dive plane, it's on a Formula 1 car.
It stops the front of the car dropping too much, I hope. I have no idea.
Dive plate, it's the two little winglets in front of the race car.
Small plates that create downforce in the front of the car. I study engineering.
What we see here are the dive planes. These are 2 additional surfaces added to the splitter to create more downforce in the front of the car for better handling, better braking, better turning.
Okay, yes, you also got them on GT cars as well, don't you?
Oh, so I was completely wrong.
It's not really vital for them to know what it is. Most important for drivers is it's on the car and they use it for the best performance of the car.
So it's a tale of Belgians here for round 8 of the championship. One starts on pole, but Alessio Picariello is the focal point. He starts this race from position number 3 with a 51-point championship lead. Frankie Cheng immediately in front in position 2. Sean Thong alongside Picariello. Then it's Martin Rump, Mitch Gilbert, Alex Jung and David Chen. On the 5th row, KOU alongside Jeffrey Lee, Sun Jing Zhu, Burit Birenbakti and Lim Keong Wee rounds out the field. lights out. Has he gotten away well? Yes, he has, but look behind him. That's Alessio Piccirillo, a monster start from the championship points leader. Goes around the outside of Frankie Cheng, and he's going to go around the outside of Dries van Thor into turn one. He's going to be lucky if he can pull that one off. The main thing is to make sure he gets through into the left-hander at turn three. He's ticked the first box. He needed to be ahead of his nearest rival, and that, of course, is Frankie Cheng. Oh, as Alex Jung goes down the inside and just tags the rear of David Chen's TSRT entry. On board at the start with Dries van Thor. He got a pretty good start. He got away very nicely, but how about Alessio Piccirillo? Lights ablaze, full intimidation mode. He goes around the outside of Frankie Cheng and tries to go around the outside of his compatriot, but he's not going to make it stick there. Didn't quite pull it off, but how busy was it behind? 2 and 3 wide as Van Thor manages to get back in front of Alessio turning into turn two. Here he is on board with Alessio Piccirillo. What a great start. You can see him clean up Frankie, then pull alongside, push to pass going with all the cars off the line. You can be sure that Piccirillo's doing the same thing, as just manages to hold him out, Dries van Thor, as he turns into the right-hander and pulls across to take the apex for turn three. Nice move by the two of them to get into the front running positions. Frankie Cheng still hanging on to position 3 ahead of Sean Thong. Very, very wide on the final turn goes Alessio Piccirillo. You need to be very careful out there on the AstroTurf. Can backfire big time. Martin Rupp having a great battle with Mitch Gilbert. The two young drivers really pushing hard down at turn 3. Alex Jung immediately behind them, and he'll take advantage of any slip-up. On board with reigning champion Alex Jung, still trying to find a way past the two young chargers immediately ahead of him, taking a different line through turns 2 and 3. Oh, that's a drama for Martin Rump. Looks like the right rear tyre has gone down and thrown him off the circuit on the exit. And that looks like game over. 2 DNFs for the man who'd been so strong here in the last couple of visits to the Cup. Oh, this is a great battle. This is for the lead of the race. Alessio Piccirillo's really starting to apply pressure to the rear of Dries van Thor. He wants to win this championship, and he wants to win the championship from the front. He's trying to go around the outside. He won't do it there, coming through turn 14, but he's trying to set him up. Feints to the left, moves back to the right. Van Thor's closing the door. He's spending more time watching out the rear than he is out the front. As again, you can see Piccirillo, he's on the push to pass. He's got onto it quickly. So too, the flashing light, Van Thor. It's a drag race down to turn 1. Just squeezes him across, pushes him again, gets him across to the dirty part of the circuit. Van Thor hits the brakes, but he's gone wide. He's gone wide on the exit. That's allowed Piccirillo through. And through behind him comes Frankie Cheng. Sean Thong too, looking to try and take some advantage back there in the Tita Racing entry. What a fantastic move. That was classic Piccirillo. If he's going to win, he's going to win from the front. And if he wants this championship, he wants to show he can do it by being a race winner. Let's go on board with the young Belgian. He lines the other young Belgian up, goes around the outside. You can see he's on the push to pass, looking across in the side mirror just to see he's got the advantage. Squeezes him across, and you can see just about now, there he goes. And Van Thor's off wide. He's gone in too deep. On board with Frankie Chung. You'd see how close it got, a little bit of contact side by side. This is at over 200 kilometres per hour. Squeezes him onto the dirty line. What a brilliant piece of overtaking. He'd been planning that, you could see, for more than a lap. A fantastic way to get into the lead of this race. Now he needs to move away. He wants to get away from any attack. He's using his push to pass. He's starting to eke out an advantage. Has opened up a very good lead now over Frankie Chung and Dries van Thor. Jeffrey Lee, Sun Jing Zhu, Lim Kyong Wee and Burit Birenbakti battling for the AM honours in the Cup this year, and this has been very tight. We could see a champion crown today, but there's a little bit more work left in this 2017 season. Great battle still goes on between Mitch Gilbert squeezing Sean Thong across on the run down to the final corner. Sean Thong won't be enjoying that one little bit. Tries to take the outside line, and that's going to open the door for Gilbert. As behind them, here is Alex Jung on board. See how close it is. Oh, contact between the two Phoenix Racing Asia teammates. They've had a great battle in season 2017. At times it's been Alex Jung with the upper hand, but the young man is coming, and he's looking to try and make up some ground here too, and he will do it. Alex Jung's gone deep into turn 6. That's opened the door back up for Sean Thong. And the Audi Tita Racing entry has got back through and into pursuit of Mitch Gilbert. But up front, he's going to do it, and he's going to do it in style with his 4th win of the year. Alessio Piccirillo will become the 2017 Audi R8 LMS Cup champion.
I was quite much faster in the beginning, but I didn't want to crash him or whatever, so I waited a good time, and then he did a mistake in the last corner. I could pass him. And yeah, taking the championship with a race win is just wonderful. Papa, maman, maman, papa, j'ai réussi!
And the sign says it all. Alessio Picariello, 2017 Audi R8 LMS Cup champion, and he did it by winning round 8. Frankie Cheng across the line in position 2. Dries Van Thor recovers for position 3. Mitch Gilbert, Sean Thong, Alex Jung, KOU and David Chen. Then it's Jeffrey Lee, Sun Jingzhu, Birat Bharakdi and Lim Kyong Wee rounds out the field. So after 8 rounds, Alessio Picariello has put the championship out of reach. He is the champion, 166 points, but the title battle for a place on the championship podium is still alive. Frankie Cheng, 107 points. Mitch Gilbert, 99. Alex Jung, 98. And Sean Thong, 91 as we head to Zhejiang. In the AM Plus classification, David Chen leads on 141 points over reigning AM champion Jeffrey Lee. He is just 1 win away from the 2017 title. In the AM Cup division, despite 2 wins by Sun Jingzhu at Shanghai, Birat Bharakdi is just 1 point away from the AM Cup title.
Well, Sean, Alessio Picariello, our new and very popular champion here amongst everyone, I think, connected with the race series and in the paddock. Of the 4 wins that he's had from those 8 races, does one stand out for you?
I think really it's the first round way back at Sepang to start the season. He made a very bold move to come through and take the victory, and that set up this championship, and from there it was pretty much plain sailing. But he had that confidence. He said during the press conference that he felt that the team could wrap this up by Shanghai, and that's pretty impressive.
So there is one more race weekend to go, and that is Zhejiang. It will be a new circuit for the Cup, October 7th and 8th. What can we expect from that weekend?
Well, it's an exciting new circuit to China. A lot of elevation changes, an interesting tunnel coming out of pit lane. It's going to be exciting. And, of course, very few people have raced there before, so this will really level out the playing field.
Good stuff. We'll see you all soon then.